Hello, hello, everyone. Tashina Lynette, your favorite holistic business coach. I want to start out on here giving you information on how to contact me if you have any questions. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you all some resources for learning Spanish. Been speaking Spanish since I was 11. I learned it. I have a minor in Spanish with my bachelor's degree in business administration marketing, used it on my job. So for anyone that maybe speaks Spanish but wants to speak it better and perhaps doesn't even read it, or if you have not spoken Spanish at all, I'm going to go through some books and online resources for whatever level you are at and explain why you would need them. If you're starting from the beginning, you can fully go through them all. But if you have any questions or if you want the Word document that will have the links attached, here's how to email me or send me a text message. And with that, I'm going to go over and go to the Word document that I have here, Resources for Learning Spanish. So this is where we will start if we are right at the beginning. So this first book, English Grammar for Students of Spanish, the study guide for those learning Spanish. I would say that everyone probably needs this, no matter where they are. When you start getting Spanish books, you're going to hear things like past tense, present participle, perfect tense, all these things that having lived in the United States and taking 12 grades of English, you probably heard, but because you speak English, you never paid attention to a lot of them. And so this book helps you know what those terms are so that when you start looking in the other books and they mention those, you're like, oh, that's what this is. That's what they mean by the um, perfect future tense. Things that, like, if someone said that to you, give me an example of a sentence in perfect future tense, you'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. This book is going to explain that. So I would definitely recommend that everyone gets that. Now, the next two books are really good ones if you are maybe doing some type of missionary work or um, visiting a Spanish congregation or visiting in a Spanish country. For those watching this that may not know me later, I am a Jehovah's Witness and I've served in the Spanish congregation and used Spanish on my job. So these are for beginners, the next two books for sure. Or if you just feel like you're beginning Spanish 1 or beginning Spanish 2 and you need some more vocabulary. So instant Spanish vocabulary. This is actually the only book I could find that I still have. Um, this particular book also has an online audio, so you can listen to um, Spanish speakers, their native tongue. And what this book and the next one does, Madrigal's Magic Key to Spanish, a creative improvement approach, they start to build on the root words that American English and Spanish have in common. So every time you get a book, I want you to, no matter what, these books will have some lists in them, but I want you to read through the details and do any exercises that they have. And so they build on what is a word called cognate, which you'll probably find in English grammar for students of Spanish, which are words that have the same root. So for example, dictionary becomes diccionario. And you will find several words that are like this. There's so many endings. And so it gives you those endings. And so then you just automatically build up your vocabulary because you're like, if I know this word and I know in Spanish it ends like this is how I'm going to say it. So very good for beginning Spanish people, or for, again, you're not too far along, you want more vocabulary. Instant Spanish Vocabulary Builder and Madrigal's Magic Key to Spanish, both are those. The next one I would recommend, maybe if you're a bit more advanced, Practice Makes Perfect, Complete Spanish All in One. This has 5 different ones of their books. This one is for refining your grammar. So if you're going to, like I did, use them on a job, you do want to be able to write it well. You do want to understand grammar. And when you build up your vocabulary and your grammar, you're able to communicate with a majority of the people. Because I'm educated in Spanish, I've traveled to Ecuador, which would be they would have South American dialects. I've traveled to Spain, and you'll hear people who maybe are not educated in Spanish that were born in a certain country. They're like, I was born in Honduras, and sometimes they can't understand people from the Caribbean. I've never had that problem because of my vast vocabulary and being educated in it. So I would say definitely taking classes is very helpful too. Taking Spanish classes at a college or something is very helpful. But these are the books that are going to help you with the grammar. There's some that really, really refine, for example, and again, in that English grammar for students is going to help you with that. There's a thing called prepositions and pronouns. Prepositions are the words that connect our words to, a, through. Those are prepositions. Pronouns are the words that replace someone's name. So Tashina, I am her or she. Those are pronouns. Those are difficult because the prepositions don't translate directly and you need a lot of information. And again, practice make perfect will have some workbook things for you to do. 501 Spanish verbs. So verbs are conjugated in a lot of Latin-based languages, which means your root word is the same, and then you have different endings in order to come up with different versions or tenses of the words. I hope you guys are able to follow me along. Again, I've been speaking Spanish for years, and I've always been really high comprehension in English, and so trying to break down as much as I can for you guys. Um, so, for example, we do have conjugations in English, but we don't do them the same as in Spanish. So in Spanish, to run, that is the root. And for us, we need the to there to make that root word. And then you would have different tenses like I ran would be your past tense. In Spanish, you change the ending to make that happen, and that is called a conjugation. So 501 verbs it's a very good reference if you need to actually write something out in Spanish because it can give you all of those conjugations. But once again, it also has exercises in it that I would encourage everyone to do to understand it. But in a pinch, you can also just look it up to know a certain verb tense. Again, a tense is past, present, future, all of those things, right? So those are the resources I would recommend in order to build your vocabulary, your grammar, if you need to write something. Now, one of the most important things is you will not be able to speak another language. You will not be able to speak it. You will not have oral comprehension as well, unless you listen to it and you speak it. And so the instant Spanish vocabulary, and I think one of the other books may have had some audio for you to listen to, so you got to listen to it, but you also have to speak it. So these online resources help you with that. So we have Duolingo, which they claim is the world's best way to learn a language. What is it? Duolingo is a popular language learning app that offers interactive lessons in Spanish. It covers various aspects like vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Duolingo is free. You can practice speaking, listening, reading, and writing through fun exercises and challenges. Of course, they have upgraded versions, and I'll go online and show you guys these as well. Pimsleur's. So Pimsleur's used to exist as CDs. They now have audio-based language courses. It's completely audio. And one of the things that I love about Pimsleur's is it simulates conversation. And it was created by an individual who spoke something like 9 languages, and he studied scientifically the best way to get it into your memory. And so this is an actual method. So what is Pimsleur's? It provides audio-based language courses, including Spanish. Their method focuses on oral proficiency and helps you develop conversational skills. The cost, Pimsleur's courses are paid, but they offer a solid foundation for speaking and understanding Spanish. And again, if you have been around for a while, you even know what this is. And like me, you still have a CD player somewhere in your home. You may be able to find CDs at libraries. And then lastly, we have Mango Languages. Mango Languages is online language learning software. What is it? Mango offers an engaging platform for learning Spanish. It combines interactive lessons with cultural insights. You'll find practical phrases, vocabulary, and grammar. Mango is available through many libraries, so check if your local library provides access. Some libraries offer it for free to their patrons. So if you were ever familiar with Rosetta Stone, there's others like Babbel, um, and I think in the past I'd taken Rosetta Stone, and then later Mango Languages. I was taking Chinese. Um, I've also used Duolingo, and I was just taking my Portuguese test to see if I could go through beginning one, and I did. So that was good. So in the past, I did actually have some Pimsleur CDs in Portuguese, and I have Duolingo in Portuguese, and I had done Mango Languages in Chinese, although I don't remember any of it. It was for one of the companies that I work with. And so, of course, I want to be cost effective with you guys. So, um, check for discounts or promotions. Keep an eye out on any language for any discounts or promotional offers on these platforms. Sometimes they run specials or deals or provide trial periods. Group subscriptions, if you have friends or family members interested in learning Spanish, consider sharing a subscription. Some services allow multiple users under one account. Library access, as mentioned earlier, Mango Languages is often accessible through libraries. Take advantage of this resource if your library participates. And lastly, check out my videos that I do in Spanish on my YouTube channel. Usually there's an English version you can watch thereafter to see how much you understood. And I provide all types of, I have a monthly newsletter as your favorite holistic business coach. And so this will go out in my newsletter as well. Now, let me go ahead and ooh, oh, no, we don't want to end meeting for all. Bring this back, stop sharing, and let's go take a look at these websites over here. So we'll start with Duolingo. Okay, so here's Duolingo. This is what it looks like. There's a guidebook. So this section 1, unit 7 is where I jumped ahead to when I took my proficiency. Use prepositions, use simple contractions is what I learned in this one. And so they're teaching me preposition. So preposition is a, to the, etc. So I learn, then I practice. Like we said, they're quests, lots of different things here. So that is what Duolingo looks like. Going to the next one. Pimsleur's. Go ahead and share my screen. So, oh no, this is Mango. Mango Languages. We went to Mango next. How it works. How Mango works. Learning a new language isn't easy. It is a commitment which requires consistent interaction with the unknown and the unfamiliar, but one which leads to rewarding discoveries along the way. A blend of the right content at the right time, then with intelligent algorithms, high quality audio, and powered by proven methodologies, Mango's adaptive learning process evolves to your progress and unique learning behaviors, preparing you to start the conversation with confidence. Oh, on Duolingo, you can actually confriend people as well. So definitely look for me as your friend. And lastly, let's go to Pimsleur. Oh, excuse me. So our method. Okay, like we talked about promotions and specials. They're already hitting me with them, right? So probably no aspect of learning a foreign language is more important than memory, yet no aspect of learning has been less well examined. From Dr. Paul Pimsleur. The Pimsleur method is the foundation upon which every Pimsleur course is built. It's a scientifically proven, look at me, I was telling you guys that very clearly, a set of principles designed to take the learner directly to the heart of the language, eliminating noise, confusion, and information overload. People all over the world are using Pimsleur's programs to start speaking, understanding, and reading new languages quickly and easily. If you haven't experienced it for yourself, you may find it hard to believe that something so simple could work so well. The Pimsleur's method is made up of a few key principles: graduated interval recall, principle of anticipation, core vocabulary, organic learning. So you guys can read all the details there later. So that is what I wanted to share with you all. All of those sites have different, and let me go ahead and put my information back up here for those that would like to get on my newsletter, contact me with any questions, and or get the Word document where you have all of the links. But of course, all of those platforms have various languages on there. So this is a method that I use to learn Spanish, but I'm sure the tools will be available in other languages as well, including probably the instant, whatever language you need, vocabulary builder, Barron's, 501 verbs exist in various languages. Practice makes perfect exists in various languages. So the overall title of this will be some of the best methods to become bilingual in another language. Although for me in particular, I am bilingual in Spanish and I can understand a lot of Portuguese. So, and say a few phrases here and there from having studied it for 2 years. Again, that's what I want to share with you guys. Email me, text me if you have any questions, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you guys. Have a great one. Bye.